past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yarn store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet podcast. I'm going to throw in a short one here about spinning, and some of this I have spun in the last 3 years. Some of it I've spun this week. So I want to clear off my weaving bobbins and get everything ready for the next set of the breed study. I think I have 60-ish breeds, some of them doubled, but about 60 breeds that I'm going to be talking about over hopefully the next year, because I'm going to be spinning all of them. I know I said that a couple of years ago and it never got done. I don't even know if I talked about these. So I'm just going to go back with what I have and move forward from there. So the book that I am going to be using for talking about is the Fleece and Fiber Source book. And this came out in 2011. And I use it as my resource book. And this one, I have a couple others, but I found all these breeds in this. And I do have In Sheep's Clothing, and I have the Hand Spinner's Guide to Fleece and stuff like that. So it depends on if I can find them in this book. I like this setup of this book the best, but there are other times that I might bring in different resources. So the breeds that I have worked with right now, this week I did Shropshire. I believe that's how you say that. And I'm hoping this comes out okay, but it's got a plastic thing on it, so it might not. And as I'm pulling this out, it is a conservation breed. It is a down family, so very crimpy, very tight is the down breeds. Let's see if this brings it a little bit better. I think you can see it that way. And this is country of origin England, 31 to 33 microns. So it's not super soft, at least this. Every time you pull out a breed, you got to look at how it was raised, how it was fed, was the sheep healthy, things like that. So there could be some of these fleeces that are extremely soft, and there could be some that are not so soft. This one is more on the not so soft side. And there is a staple length between 2.5 and 4 inches. And I definitely felt that with this. This was on the longer side of that. And to me, it wasn't as ropey as Wensleydale and when I spun that, because that has very long locks, but this felt very hairy. So I will say that. I did a short forward draw with it on my Ladybug wheel, and I only have it in a single right now. So this is a natural color, so you're going to get that cream color. And not specifically white, but it's definitely creamy. Shropshire is, like I said, Downs country in southwestern England. It's from there with the border of Wales. Southdown and perhaps Leicester and Cotswold rams were introduced to native sheep to improve their productivity. By 1853, it was recognizable as its own breed. throughout England and was first imported to North America through Virginia in 1855. Quickly gained success beyond its point of introduction and becoming the most common breed of North America by 1930. And that's where I'm wondering if a lot of people that say they don't like wool and it's itchy is because it's this wool. This one definitely has a prickle factor to it. It's not as common today as what it once was, but they're still quite popular. The ewes commonly have twins and triplets, and they are long-lived, often producing lambs into their teens. So it's a cute little guy here. Has kind of a black face and black ears, and really sweet. So in looking at it, the fleece weights are normally 4.5 to 10 pounds for a ewe and up to 14 pounds for a ram, with a yield after washing, so once the lanolin and the VM is out of it, of 50 to 75%. So that is a good yield for fleece. Veritable diameters is 24.5 to 33 microns. This one was definitely 31 to 33, so on the scratchier side. Lock characteristics. I'm going to see if I can put in a picture of the locks that I had. I had top, so the crimp was mostly gone. And like I said, very hairy, but everybody, you know, each sheep's going to have its own thing. And they're normally very blocky, rectangular staples that hold together and may be hard to distinguish from one another. And its natural color is this white cream. There may be a few black fibers because of the down breeds having colored faces. The use on this, similar usage, a lot of people use it for socks or outer shawls. And this fiber takes dye very nicely. So that is the, I believe it's Shropshire, but I'm not sure of enunciation. So I try the best I can and I go with what I have. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Teeswater. It is again a conservation breed, but this one is an English long wool. And British sheeps are sometimes or mostly named for the area that they are from. And so this is from Teeswater. And the river meanders, it's named for the river Tees. And the river meanders 85 miles from Cross Fell, the highest summit, to the North Sea. And Teeswater fleeces are normally 30 to 36 microns. This one that I spun a while ago from Wool Gatherings, I would say is in that family. And the reason I say that it really matters where the sheep is and where they come from and what they were fed and all that is I really love spinning this. I got 50 yards from 1 ounce, and this is plied as well. It's the only one here that I have plied. And it hangs pretty well. Little twist in it, not much. It's a good balanced yarn. And the sheen on this is just lovely. However, the staple length on this is 12 to 15 inches. So these are very long haired. It is definitely a long wool, and I don't mind that at times. However, this one that I got from Hearthside Fibers, and I'm not sure where this one was from originally, but this is the sourcing that I had, which was Hearthside instead of Wool Gathering and Hearthside. This one said that this is 40 to 60 micron. And I can tell you this is much scratchier comparatively, and I have not done this up into a 2-ply yet. All of these will be spun 2-ply, and then I will knit with them. But as these are both Teeswater, I was kind of surprised that they were that different. That, you know, it just goes to show. This one has drape, and I think will go up wonderfully. Maybe a shawl. I'm not sure what I'm going to make these up into. I was thinking squares and just having all of them done in squares. I've done shawls in the past with Breed Studies, so I kind of want to do something different. But this one is very, very scratchy. This one is not. With a lock characteristic just on itself with the locks, it's very, very curly. It's very lustrous, and it has a smooth surface, and it is naturally this creamy white color. And just to show you, they have little black faces as well, a little bit more of a clear definition, and you can see the locks here are nice and curly. So that was Teeswater top. The next one I'm going to talk about, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put these. There we go. They will be coming off the bobbins today. The next one I'm going to talk about is Rambouillet. Rambouillet is one of my favorites to spin. It is a merino breed, but well, the story is in 1786, when Spanish began allowing merinos to be exported, the king allowed some to be sent to Spain. And in Spain, it was sent to the estate at the town of Rambouillet, where breeding modification and feed differences and everything were introduced, and the breed changed just by what it was eating and how it was, yeah. So the breed, Rambouillet, is different than a merino, though they are both merino breeds. And Rambouillet were first introduced to the United States in the 1840s. The breed quickly spread throughout North America, leaving its mark. Oh, excuse me, it has been a long day at work. I apologize. Leaving its mark on the Western Range operations. Rambouillets perform especially well in grassland areas. They have a very strong flock instincts, so they stay together. Though they will spread out during the day, they come back together at night for protection. And a normal fleece will run 8 to 18 pounds for a ewe, with a little bit more for the ram. And a yield is 35 to 60 because there is so much lanolin and VM in their fleeces. Now, these guys have a very creamy complexion, and they have long curly horns. They are very, let's see, do I have a copy of the fleece definition of a Rambouillet? Yeah, they have different flavors, so different colors of fleece. And here you go with the different fleeces and the way they look. It's very high crimp. And the actual sheeps, aren't they adorable? Aren't they adorable? Now, the one that I got, when we're talking micron count 18 to 24, so that's a good soft breed. This one is 20 to 23, again from Hearthside Fibers. And all of this was comb top. The staple length on this averaged out at 4 inches. This is a very creamy white. And as you can see, I was able to spin it much thinner than the other. You got my end tuft here. I always leave an end tuft. And then bring it into what I'm doing as my actual single. And extremely soft, extremely squishy. And this, they produce colors of the brown, the gray, the cream. So it's mostly white, though, is what you will get in this type of sheep. So the next one I will talk about that I spun is did not spin Manx. Let's go back to this other one. I don't know where that came from. Ah, next page. There we go. North Ronaldsay, and I don't know if that's how you say it. Ronaldsay, not sure. Very much a Northern European short-tailed fiber or family of sheep. It is the area of North Ronaldsay is a key position in the outermost reach of the Orkney Islands. This sheep is kind of specialized there. The wool is sometimes called coarse and sometimes called fine. It depends on the sheep that you get and the year that they're eating. So they date back to early history of the Iron Age, about 1200 BCE. Recent evidence takes them back even farther, but that's really what they have. They can say it goes back to 300 BCE, or 3000 BCE, sorry. It's a primitive sheep. They used to shed their wool instead of having to be sheared. And it's kind of interesting when you get into it. The fleece weight is only 2 to 2.5 pounds, not a whole bunch more. They are generally 2 to 4 inches in staple length, and it can range anywhere from 23 to 28. This was an extremely easy spin for a short forward draw. And this had 1.5 to 3 inch staple length depending, and 30 microns. So not super soft, but not as scratchy because of the type of fiber it was compared to others that I spun. This one does have a gray-black undertone to it, like an oatmeal, instead of a straight cream. So it's got guard hairs. And there we go. This one I would spin again depending on the fleece. I like that one enough. Rambouillet I would. The other two, it would depend on the fleece. Really depend on the fleece. So this is the North Ronaldsay. The next one in the book would be the Radnor fiber. And let me see, do I have a picture of the sheep for the Ronaldsay first? Don't know if they put one in here. Not. Yeah. It's got little itty bitty ears, or itty bitty horns, itty bitty ears too. They kind of look like a mountain sheep. So that's kind of cool. But like I said, the next one I'm going to talk about is the Radnor. And the Radnor sheep, that's this guy. He's got a curly horn. And a little bit about them. The mysterious hill radner has been recognized locally for many centuries as in central Wales, along with the country's border with England. Yet the real dearth of written references about this breed, even in very old or agricultural texts, there isn't. This is an isolated rural area, even into the 20th century. The fleece evolved to protect the animal from the elements. It isn't rough. It has a little bit of kemp, but it's easy to pull out. Kemp are like the long, fierce hairs. The wool is dense and crisp feeling, and it is a good candidate for maintaining the texture of a fabric construction or for color work that remains distinct instead of blurring, so it holds its shape. So this one I couldn't get real fine. I think this one is going to spin up a little bit thicker. Normal fleece size is 4.5 to 5 pounds. Staple length is 2 to 6 inches. And with normal of 3 to 5 inches, that's what this was, 3 to 5.5. Fiber diameters is 27 to 33 microns, but the way it spins and the squishiness of it as an outer garment, this would be great. The color of the sheep is this cream. And it produces colors with a matte finish. It doesn't have a big luster to it. And let's see. It has good body. That's what they're saying. It's an all-purpose wool with a potential for tweedy effects. This one was very much one color, no tweediness in it. It comes from Wales. It says that this micron was 31 to 33, and I agree with that. Even though it's not as soft, it's got a squish factor that just, I mean, you can see when I'm holding it here, the squish on this just here. It boings back, and it's wonderful. So this is the card on this one, and I think I would like to spin this again. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about, as in the breed, is Massam. And Massam is a mutt. It is very much a mutt. And to me, it's really, when I picture a sheep, that's the type of sheep I'm talking about, this one here. And why I say it's a mutt is it's a mixture of 3 or more different breeds. And Massams and mules are produced by breeding a Teeswater ram, sometimes similar to a Wensleydale, to either a Dales breed or a Swaledale ewe, and possibly a rough fell ewe. And you want to interbreed these, and it has been for at least 100 years in the Northern Hill Country. Ewe lambs from these crossings are raised as breeding ewes in commercial flocks because they have a hardiness, longevity, heavy milking qualities, strong mothering instincts, and high prolificacy. Massams ewes also grow nice fleeces with long staples and good luster. The Massam that I have, and look, the difference. That's the Massam, and then over here is a Welsh mule. And so basically what they're saying is these are the mutts of the sheep. We have mutts. And sometimes, just like in dogs, the mutt is the smartest and the most able to adapt, and that's how this sheep is. It doesn't go into a lot about the characteristics because it depends on what the cross is and things like that. This one, staple length is 6 to 15 inches. It's definitely a long wool. It's got a lot of crimp to it, and I got this lovely gray. And it came out to 38 to 44 microns, but it spun up so nicely that even though it's not super, super soft, it is something that I think would make up into a wonderful cardigan with long wear. It's not super prickly. And it's showing that the different raw and clean in this book, it's got a nice open crimp, a curl to it, instead of being like a downy that is super finely crimped. And I've spun Masham a lot. It's one of the breeds that I don't mind spinning. I know it's a little bit rougher and it's a little bit longer, but this one I don't mind spinning. Now I have 2 other bobbins that I'm going to be cleaning off. This one came out of its package during moving. I have no idea what it is. It is extremely soft, extremely soft. So I'm not real sure what the breed was, but I will tell you it's going to be a lovely, lovely yarn. And this will, like I said, I think I'm just going to make up squares and go with that. Or I don't know if I'll do stockinette or if I'll do garter or whatever I decide. So that one, I have no idea what it is. And this one was my trial spin for a pink that I have going on now. I spun this probably 3 years ago. This is a blend of merino and BFL that I dyed up myself, and I have the rest of it on my ladybug right now. And this is it coming out? There we go. I don't know what it's going to be. I have just about a pound of it, and it's like my palette cleanser. I'll grab this bobbin in between the others. But I'm going to be going through with this source book and with the other books that I have. And this is from Story Publishing, written by Deborah Robeson and Carol Ekeris. Again, it's the Fleece and Fiber source book. It's what I'm using for my breed study and me trying out the different fleeces. And because you can't always afford to get a ton of fleeces, getting a fiber study is really nice to know what you like and what you don't. And my personal opinion on all of this may be different than what you like, and go with what you like. I know a lot of people that like Romney and Wensleydale, and those are 2 that, though I've spun them and I think they're both in this breed study, I will continue to spin if I get them, but it's not something I hunt out for myself, just because I don't care for the process of spinning them. I don't like spinning from the tip or from the fold, and those are normally spun that way. So this is the book I'm using, and I'll bring you with me as I go through this. And I'm going to now pull all of these, including this one, off the bobbins so that I have clean bobbins to start the next set of breed study. And hopefully I'll be able to bring once a month, now that I have a setup to where I can do this. I'd like to do at least 6 ounces, or these aren't even, this is 0.25 grams, I believe, is each one of the little breed studies, which might be an ounce. I'm not sure. I know that 4 ounces is 3.5. No, 100 grams is 3.5 ounces. That's what it is. And so however it comes out, that's what I'm looking at doing. So, yeah, this is just a quick in between. I'm not showing anything that I'm finished with or anything like that, just talking about different breeds that I'm doing. I'm going to name this Fiber Study 1. And until next time, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.